Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are continuing with the page layout ideas book, which we've been doing a bit of a series on. I can't tell you which episode this is. I think we're around about 17, 18. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and I hope you're going to get something out of today's session. So a few things. First of all, you'll have to excuse the light. I do apologise, there's a lot of shading. We're just going past that stage where it's just starting to get a little bit darker out, and the internal light isn't the greatest where I am, so I am sorry. Okay, so I've decided I want to do something on this page here. So with that in mind, I've looked for some papers that I think might go, and I don't actually have a lot of choice here. I'm trying not to open a new book until I literally don't have any other choice. So I'm looking for something that I can get away with, because we're going to be using quite a few pieces of card. And if I can't do that, then we'll just have to kind of ignore the background a little bit. That might be a good one. It's not one of my favourites, so that might be useful to cover up. Although I did want, I wanted an extra wide space here for what we're going to do today. Oh, decisions. I hope you're all well. Really good to have you back here with me, and I hope you're enjoying the series so far and getting something out of it. Okay, so we're going to go with this one here, because I've got a couple of papers, probably not that one so much. I've got a couple of papers here that will go with it, and because of the way I'm working this project out, it's going to be a lot of crossover, so we'll put those to one side, knowing we're going to work with them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to work out how much space I've got to play with comfortably, and that's 14 centimetres, which is just short of 5 3/4 inches. And then it's 20 centimetres, which is, just over 20 centimetres, which is 8 inches. So they're the measurements that we are going to play with. And today's idea book is going to be, or ideas page rather, is going to be a bit of a mix of everything. So yeah, we'll put this to one side and then we can get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got a couple of pieces that we need to make before we do anything else. So I'm going to grab my cutter, because that is going to be essential. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to, we need 19 centimetres tall for this particular project, and this particular piece here, which would take most of the flowers off, but I think we're okay with that. So my first measurement is 19 centimetres long, and I'm going to go 18 centimetres across. Okay, so 19 centimetres long, 18 centimetres across. I've decided to go with the plainer part instead of the flower because I'd cut half of it. So that's what I want to do with that one. So I'm going to put that to one side for a moment. The next one is going to be, 8 centimetres wide. I don't know if I like that as much, to be honest. Let's go with this one, 8 centimetres, yeah, 8 centimetres wide. Okay, 8 centimetres wide, and we need another 10 then for a hinge. So we're going to go 10 centimetres wide in total, and our length on this one is going to be 17 centimetres. So we've dropped down from 2. So this is our first piece, and this is our second piece. Okay, I'll put them out the way because I do have a terrible habit of just picking up a piece I've just cut and cutting it again for something else. So our next piece, let's see if we've got any of this, because these are going to be more focal. Our next piece, we need 10 centimetres wide, which is great. And we're going to go with 15 centimetres tall. So I think I'm going to do it this way. Right, okay. So 10 centimetres wide, 15 centimetres tall for that one. And then we are going to, for our last one, we're going to need 13 centimetres long. It's just short of that. Okay, I think I might need to grab another piece. Something that's going to go well with that. I won't. I wonder if... I wonder. I don't like that one. Looking for something plainer, really. And that is too short by 2 centimetres, which is a shame. Although we could probably, what did I say I needed? 18 centimetres across by 13 centimetres down. I'm just going to cut it at its widest and see what I think it will look like. I'll go back over all of these measurements again with you, because I'm just kind of conscious that I am chucking measurements around left, right and centre. I think I might... I think. 4. I think we might get away with that. We'll give that a go and see where we are. I'm going to keep all of these extras now for using to embellish it a little bit further. So we're going to take our scoreboard. We're going to take our first measurement, which is here, and we need to score this at... It's going to be this side. So we need to score this at 2 centimetres from the left. This is our first score. 2 centimetres from the left. And then we are going to fold that over. And what we're going to then do is we are going to fold this in half. So in total, this piece here was 18 centimetres across by 19 centimetres down. We've scored it in at 2 centimetres from the left to give us a hinge. And this other piece here, we are going to fold back on itself, not quite to the score line, not far from it, but not quite there. Okay, and that is our first piece. Our second piece is this one here. So we have scored this at, we've cut this rather. We've got 10 centimetres across and we have got 7 centimetres down. And again, we're going to score this at 2 centimetres, but this time that 2 centimetres is going to be from the right. So let's get that in the middle there and score that. Okay, so again, we're just going to fold that in on itself. And that's all we're going to do with that one at the moment. So that's number 2. Number 3 is this one here. So we are, should be 10 centimetres across by 15 centimetres down. We're going to score this one again at 2 centimetres, but this time again from the left. So we've gone left, right, and now we're back to the left. Okay, and we're just going to fold that over. So that's card number 3. And then our last card is less than we wanted it to be, but I think we can make this work. So what we're going to do on this one is we are going to, right, let me think about this. We're going to actually measure this at 4 centimetres here, and we're going to actually cut that off now. So we've got 2 pieces. So our first piece is 4 centimetres. We are going to score that in half. Gosh, I'm surprised. I don't know if you've seen the one with the bad math, but it certainly takes some doing when I'm trying to work out measurements. Okay, so that's our first one here. And this one we are going to fold again on itself, but the kind of, if you like, the open bit here is going to be facing left. Okay, so that's all we need in terms of our score. So we've got piece 1, we've got piece 2, we've got piece 3, and we've got 2 little pieces there for piece 4. Okay, so far so good. So we're going to work with piece 1 first of all, and what we're going to do is we are going to put a little divotty thing here in the middle of this one. Oh, they always fly up and hit me in the face. I don't know if I say that each time, but they do fly up and hit me in the face. Okay, that's good. So what we're going to do with this one here is we're going to get our glue, and we are going to glue across the bottom here. So if our glue ever decides to come out, it's quite funny because when it's cold, it's really hard to get it out, and when it's warm, it just goes all over the place. So we are going to put a little bit of glue there, and we're going to put a little bit of glue down this side, try and get a little bit closer to the edge than me, and we're going to fold this over here, and we are going to glue it down. So we end up with a long, deep pocket with a hinge. That's number one. If you want to ink it, probably do it before you glue it, because it just makes it easier to see this bit here. So I am just going to distress around these edges here, and that is, as I said, number one. Okay, number two, I have to try and think. This one here is the 17 centimeter one. So what we're going to do with this one here is we're going to put a pocket on the front. And I think I'm going to mix and match this up a little bit. So I think I'm going to, I think I'm going to go here. Pen, pen, pen. And then I think we'd want it to, I think we'd probably get away with that. Okay, so we've got our pocket here. I'm going to cut another piece out of this, just so it's easy access. Just going to ink around the edges. And I'm going to glue this onto our page. Again, this is just an ideas book that's not going to be used for me, so I would normally take a lot more care when I'm gluing. So please don't follow suit. Okay. So we have got a pocket here. And what we're going to do on the back here, excuse me, is we're going to put a full-size notebook. Just nothing too thick, but a full-size notebook on this back piece here. So I'm just going to grab some coffee dyed paper. Okay, and our measurements again for this one are 17 by 8. And I will just check that. 17 by 8. So I think we're going to do 7 by 16. And I'm just going to put a couple of sheets in here. Because again, they're not going to be used. So let's get our cutter out. So I said 17, what did I say? I think I said 16 by 7, didn't I? So 16 long. By 7 wide. By 7. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, that's a good fit. I'm just going to stitch these really quickly. Okay, so I've just stitched across the top on that one there. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just simply glue that in place. There. Okay. So we have a long pocket. You could add a pocket to the front, a tuck spot, a belly band, and exactly the same on the other side if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that on this one because it's going to be quite bulky, but there is that option. On this one here, we've got a notepad and we've also got a pocket on the front. So that's 1 and 2 done. So number three is this one here. And this was 15 centimetres by 8 centimetres with a 2 centimetre space. A 2 centimetre hinge rather, and that again is going to be on our left. So what I want to do with this one is I'm going to get some more of our scrap paper that we've used so far. Okay, on the inside here, I am going to put a belly band. So just make sure that that fits. And I'm going to ink that one up. I forgot to ink the other one up, but it's quite dark anyway, so it's not going to show too much. Okay, so I'm going to attach this. I quite like that colour as well, mind. So yep, we're going to go change our mind. We're going to go with that top colour there. So give that a quick ink. I have no idea what these colours are going to look like together. And I haven't actually made this piece before. This is just written down a few measurements, which I'm hoping will get me through it. So this is going to be our belly band, and we're literally going to pop that on our reverse there. And on this side, we are going to have a we're going to have a tuck spot, but it's not going to be, probably would have been better to have had something there. I suppose if we, let me have a look at what that's going to be like if I cut that across here. Yeah, you can still see some of the flower, so I'm okay with that. And they're all very small, narrow pieces. I mean, these measurements are for the journal that I've done. Obviously, if you're using bigger journals, then you would up the measurements, and if you're using smaller journals, then likewise you would adjust the measurements. Try and take this right to the end. Okay, so excuse me, that is piece number 3. Just get some of these white bits off, which is a tuck and a belly band. And then finally we've got our last piece here. And with this piece, we're gonna, this opening section here, we're gonna put these 2 pieces together, and we are gonna cut a divot through both front and back. We're gonna glue this then closed, so just the top and the bottom. Okay, and if there's any adjustments, you can literally just cut those off. And what we're going to do with this is this now becomes our hinge. So we're going to glue this in place on the reverse. So this is our front. We're going to flip this over and we're going to put our hinge right against the edge. Pull that down a bit. Just take that edge off. Okay, so we've got our fourth piece here, which is a pocket, and that's a side opening pocket. So we've got our 4 pieces here, 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 and here. What we're going to do next is we want to glue piece 3 to glue piece 1, and we're going to do that simply by applying some glue on the hinge that comes with piece 3, and we are going to glue that to the hinge on piece 1, and just check that they both open comfortably. Okay, the next piece is we're going to do exactly the same, and we're going to glue piece 4 onto piece 2. As I said, exactly the same way. So the flap on piece 4, which is the one that you've just created, gets glued onto the flap on piece 2. And again, we just want to make sure that that opens and closes comfortably. Okay, so we end up with 2 pieces. I'm going to get our book back. Can't remember what page I said we were going to use now. To be honest, it would probably go with any page, but let's go back to what we said, because I think I'm going to have a struggle to use that page otherwise. I wonder if we could get away with this. Possibly. It does go better on this one though, doesn't it? Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we've got our piece 1 and 3, and we are going to glue those to our page. And I'm going to put a good bit of glue on that because I want it to stick. And I'm just going to pop that in place there. Okay. Then we're going to move that out the way, and we're going to glue pieces 2 and 4 to the other side. That was a rather excitable. So these are going to be glued to the other side here, like so. I'm going to lift this up, make sure that that's glued nice and tightly. So we've got number 1. Then we're going to then we're going to place number 2 on top, then number 3, and then number 4. And that is our page layout. So number 1 is going to open, and you've got a pocket here. Number 2, we've got a tuck spot on the front, and we've got a belly band underneath. Number 3, we've got a pocket on the front and a notebook underneath. Number 4 is a deep pocket, and as I said, you can embellish this even more. You could have added pockets and tuck spots or belly bands to all of these areas. But remember, you've got number 1, number 2, then number 3, then number 4, and that is our page layout for today. I'm going to obviously embellish this before I do a flip through of the journal, but I hope it was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and if you want to leave me a comment, that would be awesome, just to say hello. And I will catch you on the next episode. So until then, take care of yourselves and speak to you soon. Bye for now.